This is an original short story from Held Stories, a living archive of quiet, human encounters. Here we try to create images of moments that are complete but not finished. Held Stories, Season 1, Episode 5. She changed her plans after the diagnosis. Raphael opened his email client, business, leisure, and group emails. "Hey Ralph, drinks tonight?" From Sheryl. He replies, "Sure, same spot," and continued his search through new emails and those yet to be sorted. His computer froze, as it does, and released itself for Raphael to continue. Sheryl replied, "Not this time. I'll meet you at Hogg's Wharf on the water." Raphael thought about the locale for a moment. "Are you sure you want to go there? I was there for all the fights 3 months ago, and the bathrooms were unusable." He continued to file his new emails away. His computer freezes, then releases itself again. Sheryl replied, "Yes, they've cleaned it up. 6 p.m. Don't be late." He continued working through his emails. More groups, leisure, and business emails, until he reached the bottom and shut his computer off. Investing in a new system isn't in the cards for him as yet, so he deals with his current machine freezing on occasion. He got up, then headed for the kitchen. He dropped a pot in his coffee maker, drew a mug from the cupboard, and placed it under the spout. Once he hit the start button, Raphael leaned back on his counter and stared off into space. The last time Sheryl wanted him with her was at High Palace. She wanted him to be her wingman and abandoned him. Otherwise, she defended him in public, helped him clean his place, drove him when his shot was due, and, rarely unannounced, showed up with a meal. But that one memory at High Palace had him guessing. He added sugar and cream, took a sip, and sat at the kitchen table. After he pulled out his phone, one more email from Sheryl. "Bring an overnight bag." 6:05, Raphael showed up at Hogg's Wharf, dressed in his signature jeans and plaid flannel shirt. "Hey Ralph," Sheryl called from the patio overlooking the water. "Over here." She waved. He responds. He pointed out his friends to the hostess. She nodded, and Raphael joined Sheryl and the woman she was with. "Ralph, Suzanne, Suzanne, Ralph," Sheryl says with a big smile. The two shake hands, and Raphael sat in a chair near the water. "Anything I can get you, Ralph?" The server was an old girlfriend of Raphael's. "Lager, house, lime. Thanks, Marcy." Ralph lifts a smile. After Marcy left, Sheryl leaned in. "You know her?" "Yeah, middle school. Don't worry about it. It's nothing. So, Suzanne, tell me about you." "From a hamlet a few miles south of here, not much to talk about unless you were working on a farm. I have done my time making hay while the sun shines and would rather be here. You?" "I met Sheryl in high school downtown, moved out on my own once my inheritance came through, and never looked back. I fill my days with emails, writing, and the odd movie." "Writing is hard. I made my efforts at it and struggled more with the computer than it's worth," Sheryl added. "Sorry for your loss," Suzanne said with a genuine look of grief on her face. "Don't worry. It was over fast. My parents didn't see it coming." That last line shocked Suzanne. "You sure are honest, Ralph," Suzanne said, a little hurried. "I lost my grandmother last year, but she was pushing 80. My parents still live in the hamlet. They'll never leave, and I'm looking to expand my social circles as I haven't been here long." The night progressed. Conversations of city politics took hold. As expected, Raphael supported left wing along with Sheryl. Suzanne was adamant right. The heat started rising at the table, and Sheryl changed the topic to movies everyone had seen. This calmed the table down, and the drinks seemed to flow better after that. Later in the evening, Suzanne excused herself from the table. "So?" Sheryl said with a knowing smile. "Nope, nope, nope. I won't accept a setup," Raphael replied. "Oh, come on. She's attractive, fluid, and smart. She obviously enjoys your conversations, even if you know not to talk about politics anymore." "Sheryl, why are you doing this?" "All the times I stranded you, it happened more often than you realized. In the last 3 months, Sheryl ended up with 5 men, 3 women, and 2 elders, each at different times when Raphael asked to meet with her. Raphael wasn't surprised at this point. He took half a mind toward the dialogue, as hearing a beautiful woman's sexual history wasn't the most appealing topic. "Where's Suzanne?" Sheryl asked, checking her watch. "She's been gone like 15 minutes. Be right back." Ralph watched Sheryl disappear into the women's washroom. She emerged 2 minutes later with an even more confused look on her face. "She isn't here." Sheryl pulled out her phone. There was an email from Suzanne, a transfer of $50 with the message, "Never again." She paid half the tab and ran out. Sheryl looked saddened. "All the better. I can't live with someone who has such polarized opinions on city politics," Raphael said. Sheryl looked at him with soft eyes. Her cheeks warmed. "Can I be your date?" Raphael looked confused. "Not after." Raphael, please hear me out." Sheryl waited patiently. Raphael slowly lowered his guard. "I spent the last 3 months looking for a replacement. I would not accept a Mr. Mom in my life until last week. It was evident this town had given me the one man I can rely on. I want the chance to turn it around with you. I felt if Suzanne didn't work, we could." "Why now?" Raphael looked up for the first time since Sheryl's initial request. 6 months ago, I was diagnosed with cancer. After the initial treatment proved effective, and the cancer went into remission, I reorganized priorities. Being a floozy wasn't one of them anymore. You were always there for me, with me. What do you say?" "So Suzanne was just a decoy?" "No, I was seriously trying to set you up, and I thought my stamina in that direction was better. But I didn't think politics would enter the conversation so early. I'll find out later why she didn't stay." "Fine, one shot. After that I can't do it." Sheryl nearly leapt over the table trying to get around it and gave her oldest friend a big hug and kiss on the cheek. "Thank you, Raphael, thank you." Sheryl sat beside Raphael, reached over the table, grabbed a drink and took a sip, visibly excited. "What got into you? You know my history with women. They were usually friends of yours." "Yeah, about that. Many of them followed through due to favors to me. Thing is, they would share with me what they enjoyed and didn't enjoy. Sorry, buddy, you're mine tonight and I know exactly how to keep you happy." "Not sure how to take that, Sheryl." "The opening line? Not well, I assure you. However, they kept spilling the beans about you, knowing it dug into me in a way I didn't pick up on until the cancer struck. You were always the first person I wanted to reach out to, but I kept the diagnosis a secret as I didn't want you to worry." She stared out over the lake. "After that, I processed everything and realized I feel grounded with you. It's weird." "You aren't winning many brownie points here." Raphael finished his beer and began nursing his neck. "My point, if I'm even able to make it after these drinks, Raphael, is I love you, and apparently I have for quite a while. Everything I did for you was out of that love, and I couldn't calm down inside myself without doing it. I now want to act on everything I know about you, us, before, if the cancer returns." "What kind of cancer?" "Ovaries. I'm considering having them removed. Are you up for that? No kids?" Sheryl winked knowingly toward Raphael. The night progressed, evolving to Sheryl's place, which Raphael had never been to before since she moved 2 months ago. Mundane hallway leading to the kitchen, where Sheryl fixed 4 glasses of water and brought them into the bedroom after guiding Raphael. Red velvet skirting along the 4-post bed, pink mosquito netting tied to the bedposts, heart-shaped pillows throughout the upper half of the bed, a reddish-pink duvet cover. It gets chilly in here at night, Sheryl mentioned as she placed the water on either side of the bed and looked at Raphael with doe eyes. I quit my job, Sheryl said, still half asleep. Why did you do that? Raphael said, waking up the moment he heard it. I can be an amazing housewife if you give me the chance. I can do a lot around here. I can't afford a place like this, Sheryl. It's way outside. Sheryl placed a finger along Raphael's lips. Shh, I own the place. You pay what you can and we are even. Since you own your condo, we can put that toward this place. You only need to own half. Sheryl put on a housecoat, threw one on top of Raphael, giggling, and made her way to the kitchen. She pulled out the eggs, bacon, and small potatoes and began making breakfast. The conversation went into deep subjects about life with each other. Sheryl mentioned how she did her research on him and his routines, simple tastes, and lowered expectations she intended to raise made daily life easier. You're selling me. Where did you get this info? You stupid. Once I realized how bad I wanted to be with you, I clued into my own moronic nature about you. I realized just how much about you I paid attention to. Didn't last night teach you anything, Grasshopper? Raphael chuckled. It taught me I have a way to go before conditioning sets in. Hold that thought. Sheryl grabbed her phone from the bedroom, typed something in, locked it, and placed it on the island in the kitchen. She gave Raphael a knowing look. The phone buzzed, twice. We're going to have company. A knock came at the door after 5 minutes. Sheryl motioned for Raphael to answer it as she was busy cooking. Raphael opened the door, and Marcy entered. She slipped her arms around him after the doors closed and kissed his cheek, blowing on his ear. Hi, Raphael. This has been Held Stories. Held Stories is maintained as a living archive of created images of moments that are complete but not finished. Editions will be made available as they are prepared for those who wish to retain them and support their preservation. For those interested, please visit www.heldstories.org for more information.